Okay folks, we're going to set up and do a little test flight between Sydney and Melbourne. So as of at the moment I still don't have my overhead in, so we're going to use a software overhead, this one, and a full extension on the left hand side, and our ailerons are working perfectly, and now our rudder, left, right, perfect, and that's correct. Our flight controls are correct. Our start levers are in the idle position, and our flaps are set to 5 and 3 greens and a green. So that's our before taxi checklist. We can now taxi off to 34 left. So we turn off our okay, so we're at the end of the threshold here. We're going to move on to the runway. We don't have, oh, we do have an incoming aircraft. So we might wait for him to land. It's 400, 300, right, yellow light's on, so he's imminent. 200, he's at the end of the threshold, and here he is. Okay, let's go line up.
Approaching 3-4 left. Taxiway on taxiway.
Ooh, that was a tough old takeoff. You can see I've got some real issues there with flight, not flight controls, but carriage up. Look heavy there to 20 degrees. On profile, come on. Okay, it's all handed over to autopilot. We've got a problem with gear. Look at her nose. Okay, we're coming up on Wollongong, about 8 miles away, directly below us. And then we'll be swinging off towards Melbourne. And in actual fact, Nowra, which is further down the road here, will be about the point where we'll hit top of climb, which is 32,000 feet. Oops. Saying we're using reserve fuel, I don't think so. Oh, 1.8. Well, we got 5.4. No, I don't think that's correct. I better look into that. Okay, we've passed our Wollongong waypoint. We're now doing a right-hand turn off to over the top of Canberra to the right-hand side here. Okay, so we do have an interesting development here. For one reason or another, I have a problem with the the potentiometer on the left brake, and it has been on for quite a while and very, very hot. The brake temps were through the roof. So the way I controlled it was I actually slowed the aircraft right down to about 180 knots, took a degree of flap and dropped the undercarriage down right over the top of Canberra, which is cold anyway, and tried to cool the brake down as much as I could. It was really successful and dropped the temperature down to 0.7. Where it should be 0 at the moment, so that's sufficient. But what I've had to do is turn that brake off, so we're going to have a very interesting landing here because I've only got a right brake and that's it, no left brake at all. So I'm hoping that the auto brake is going to function properly and slow us down without me having to actually hit the brakes, otherwise we could skid right off the runway. So we are coming up on the top of descent now, so I'm going to go through and do a few things. We'll go into the menu and have a look at our approach. We're going to do a really slow approach this time, so I'm going to go 40 degrees of flaps and 130 knots. So I'm going to slow us right down so that we won't be so reliant on our brakes. So we've got that, and we'll have RTO set to 3, which should pull us up very, very quickly. And our next waypoint is C116, and it's 158 nautical miles away. And we're supposed to be at 3,000 for that, so we can start dropping our altitude now. And what I'm also going to do is to get that brake temperature down to 0, I'm going to slow us right down again. So I hit speed intervene and slow us down to about 200 knots. Once I get under 250 knots, I'll be able to use 1 degree of flap, so I can actually do that now. That will slow us down significantly, and then I'm going to pop the undercarriage back down again just to get that temperature out of that left brake. So here we go, undercarriage is going down, we've got 3 reds and now we have 3 greens. So we have undercarriage down, our speed's bleeding off very quickly, and we're down to about 200 knots, which is fine. And our brake temp's coming down, so we're down to 0.5 now. As soon as we get to 0, I'm going to pop that undercarriage back up again. And we can start descending as well. So I've got it set to 16.4 at the moment. We're going to be descending to 3,000 feet by the time we get to our next waypoint. Okay, our brake temp's 0.4. It's pretty cold out there. It's what is the temperature out there? Minus 33 degrees at the moment, so that brake must be very hot not to cool down so quickly. Okay, we're down to 0.3 now. 0.2. Once we, as I said, once we get it to 0, I'm going to pop that back up again. We've actually got a couple of aircraft ahead of us here too. We have a look at our PFD. We've got 3 aircraft significantly higher than us. One's at 2,300 feet above us, which is 32,000. The other one's at 32,000. And the other one off to our left here is 1,500 feet below us. So it must be only a lighty. Okay, our left brake temp now is down to 0.1. So we're almost there. But as I say, this is going to be a pretty hairy landing. It's going to be an ILS as well. Right, our brake temps is back to normal. So let's get that undercarriage up. All lights are out. And off. And let's get our flaps up. And we can bump out the indicated airspeed back up to 260, 270 will make it. So we should... Getting close to our 50-mile fix now. You can see we do have a bird off our left-hand side, but he's about 1,800 feet above us. And he's still outside of our zone. So there's nothing to worry about. We have another one about 20 miles out. And he's about 2,000 feet above us as well. Alright, getting close to Melbourne now, 59 miles. 9,600 feet. These two boys are still off to our left. One's at 800 feet above us and the other one's at 900 feet above us. We're all running parallel. I don't know if you can see that from there, but there they are. You can see this fellow over here. He's only 700 foot above us. And he's about 4 miles away. You can see on our FOs, PFD over here, that we're coming up very close to the 50-mile fixed marker that I set up. So I'll be just going through another flow then just to make sure everything's correct. Because we're below 10,000, we can now go over to our QNF. And they should be the same. 102, I'm not sure what the QNH for Melbourne is. Imagine if we could be a bit higher, 1023 or something. We'll adjust that as we get closer to the airport. How's our heading looking? Still good. 227.